Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm glad to see everybody is up and around and ready to listen. Am I right? First of all, are there any military members here? Anybody who's in the service? Thank you for your service. Thank you. The first thing I have to do is thank everybody for the service, military members, because it goes unnoticed very often, okay? I'm going to talk to you today about business networking. And business networking is about communication. Whether you're in a network environment or a person-to-person or a sales call or behind the scenes, you're a support person. You answer the phones. You meet somebody in the lobby, or you work in the warehouse and you meet up with a customer. You might be online at a gas station, a grocery store, something like that. And then what do? You're not just going to stand online and just not hear anything. Always have your ears open, okay? Now, two things I always start with. It's respect and courtesy, okay? Respect and courtesy goes such a long way. Look at that wall. Look at all the different variations. Did anybody or everybody actually read the wall? Because it's very important. Very important, besides for yourself, but for you as a community person, okay? I want you to remember this. Connectivity fosters revenue, growth, driving success. What does that mean? It means you're connecting. You never know where you're going to meet somebody or how you're going to meet somebody or where you're going to meet somebody. Okay, you're always connecting. You're connecting with your friends, you're connecting with your parents or sons or siblings or whatever, but you're connecting, okay? So now, I always do this. If you're a 20-something, raise your hand. If you're a 30-something, raise your hand. 40 and better? Okay. For the 20-somethings, this is going to be Greek. This is going to be something you haven't heard before, and you're like, oh my God, why do you bother do this? 30-somethings, you heard it, you know it, but you really don't do it. And the 40-somethings, join a club. You know this is the way to network and communicate, but you don't do it. I find very few people do it the way that it should be done. I have a certain little fish story, okay? Marty and Fred. Marty and Fred go up fishing. They're saying, okay, well, it's a great day for fishing. Let's go. Okay, all right, Marty, I'm going to go to the north side of the lake. And Fred, you take the south side. And they're getting their gear all together, and they're going on their trips and everything. Oh, it's great. Marty, he comes back with 10 fish. And Fred, he comes back with 1. He goes, how are you doing this? What's going on? He goes, look, I don't know, maybe they were biting up on the north end. Tomorrow we're going to switch. You take it, you take the north side, I'm going to take the south side. So Marty this time took the south side, and then they met at the end of the day, and what happened? Marty has 10 fish, Fred has 1. He goes, what happened? He goes, what are you doing? What's your day like? He goes, I go and I set my rod and my reel, I set my music up a little bit, I set my camp up a little bit, and all this time he's making noise and everything else, and Marty says, that's it. You're scaring the fish. And your job is not to scare the fish. Your fish, meaning everybody else. And when I say you're scaring the fish, that means you may be talking a little bit too much, you may not be talking about too much, and now I'm here today to tell you a little bit on when and where to talk, okay? Here's the big thing. When you meet up with somebody, or you're going to a networking event, smile, smile. How many of you put on that fake smile? No, everybody sees right through it, okay? You have to be genuine, okay? When you go up there and smile, you're going to smile like it's your last day. Smile, be a happy person, be kind. And when you are introduced to somebody, are you going to shake their hand? Of course you are. How do you shake their hand? You shake it like a dead fish? Don't you hate that? You go up to somebody, oh, how you doing? Yeah. And you're afraid to break their hand. Okay. You want to shake their hand firmly, but you don't want to crush it, okay? You might be a big, strong guy, or you might be a small, I'm going to be sexist here, a small girl, and shake. But you're going to have a firm handshake because that sets the tone. That sets the tone with you conversing with anybody. And the key to everything that I'm going to talk about today is to be confident. You have to be confident in what you are doing, what you're selling. Now, when you go to a networking event or you're meeting up with somebody, you are the expert in the field. So you have to go in there with all of that thinking. Now, eye contact is a big thing. Okay, eye contact. Do you talk to somebody? Eye contact? Do you talk to somebody? If I'm talking to Todd, am I looking over here? Okay, no, talk to him, eye to eye. I come from New York. I'm a transplant to Georgia, okay? Listen, when I was in New York, bam, work, okay? But your eye contact,
It's a funny from New York to Georgia.
Oh yeah, it's a big change. And I'm going to explain to you what that change is. Eye contact. Eye contact in New York, if you're walking down the street and you have eye contact with somebody, you're looking for a fight. Okay, you better just keep walk away or look down. And I know this only because when I moved to Georgia, I was walking in front of Kroger. It's a supermarket. And I was looking down because I didn't want to look anybody in the eye. And a guy stood right in front of me. I almost walked right into him. And I said, what are you doing? Hey, you, hey. He goes, what are you looking at? Is there something on the floor? Is there a nickel down there or something? I was completely, I did not understand anything. He said, look at me in the eyes. What's wrong? Look at everything around. He's look at the birds, look at the trees. I'm like, okay, but it made me think. I have to look somebody in the eye everywhere. Not only my networking events, not only when I meet somebody face to face, but I have to look them in the eye because I need to let them know I'm confident. I know what I'm talking about. Politeness, it goes without saying. Respect the janitor as well as the CEO. That goes such a long way. If you walk into a building and you see a janitor, do you just diss him? Just go to the salesperson? Or just, no. You have to be respectful. First of all, you don't know who he is, how he got there. He may be the brother-in-law of the CEO. And you don't know because you could be sitting down with the CEO and all of a sudden that janitor's going to walk by. He goes, oh yeah, I know him. Okay? So you're giving the same respect. And I don't say that loosely. I say that it's very important. Okay? Now, what's the biggest distraction that you can think of when you're sitting down with somebody or at a networking event or a one-on-one? How many people have their cell phones out right now? On the table. How many people? Raise your hands. Come on, I can see everybody. Okay? You're not hiding. Okay? The first thing you have to do is turn that off, put it in your pocket. Because what is that telling the person, besides the presenter, the person in your networking meeting or your meeting one-on-one or anything? It means that you're not giving them 100%. You're not. If you take your cell phone out and you put it on the table upside down and away from you, is that good? It's not by me. No. Because if it makes a sound, if it has any light coming from it, you're going to look at it. It's human nature. That's what you do. Okay? You're not giving that person 100% of your time, of your anything. Okay? So it's very important. Oh, I'm sorry. Family picture. I'm the middle child. Okay? It snuck in there. All right. I say don't forget humor. Don't forget it. Unless you're not a funny person. Okay? Nobody likes the person like, oh yeah, and then I heard about this bird, and they can tell when you force it, okay? You have to be humorous about things that you see or something that you saw, but you really have to be careful, okay? Don't try to be funny. Don't try because people can tell. Also, nothing dirty, okay? You may think it's funny. Your friends may think it's funny. But if you're talking to a client, or if you're in a networking event, you're talking to people, being dirty isn't the best thing, okay? It may be hysterical, but it's not good. Okay, humorous takes on things. What kind of humor? I keep using a bird for some reason, but you see a bird fall out of a tree and fall into the parking lot? That's funny. No, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. You know, because at the least time you can think of it, or in the most horrible way, that phone is going to go off and you're going to not answer it or turn it off. Okay? Thank you for proving my point. Okay. You want to feel them out. You're going to feel them out. Okay? Because you have to feel them out. Okay? I'm just going to leave that at that. Are they too serious, or too funny? You have to be careful of what they have. Okay, this is important. Whenever I go to a networking event or sit down with somebody of importance I have a meeting with, listen, every customer is important. Everybody knows that because that is what make Isaiah Industries work, the customers. And we're talking about customer support, okay? But there's so much more involved with customer support, okay? So here, I remember FORM. F is for family. You're sitting down with somebody, and listen, I was a Little League coach for 16 years. I was an umpire for 3 years. So youth sports, I've got it. Okay? But you don't know what they have or what they want to do. Occupation, okay. Somebody's going to come in and speak with Todd. Okay? Is he going to talk about himself or is he going to talk about metal roofing? Okay? He has to talk about something, maybe bring an article or something you cut out from the paper and said, look, I saw this written up about Isaiah Industries. It was very interesting. What does that tell him? Well, that tells Todd, oh, this guy, he really looked into what I do. So that puts you on a different level. And all of this is to break down their barrier of resistance. Their barrier of resistance, because everybody's got it. Somebody walks in to talk to you, you immediately have your guard up. What are you trying to sell me? Remember, people love to buy, but they hate to be sold to. People love to buy, but they hate to be sold to. Okay? Recreation. Okay, you couldn't think of anything for the family. You couldn't think of anything for occupation. How about jet skiing? How about skiing? How about youth sports? How about anything? Okay? Anything. You have to find something. If you walk into somebody's office, salespeople, if you walk into somebody's office, you have about 30 seconds to size this up and use form. And here's just a message that you can speak to them about. But as soon as you walk into the office, as soon as you talk to anybody, if you go to a networking event, or one-on-one with somebody, or you're talking to a customer, you're immediately thinking form, okay? Because that's going to break down that wall. Okay. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do when you're building up this wall? Okay? You're trying to build rapport. Okay? What do you have in common? Because here, you're sitting on the other side of a table, or next to them in a lunchroom, or whatever, okay? You have to find that little thing that you have in common with the person, And it's not that difficult. You just, in talking, you have to be able to listen. Listen to everything. And questions. Question everything. Question. You know what? People love to talk about themselves. Let them. In sales, I've been doing this for a very long time. In sales, the more you talk, the more you're going to lose. There's a strategy that the last person that talks loses in a sales meeting. So you have to really pay attention. When you're scanning a room, look for pictures. A picture on his desk, picture behind his desk, picture hanging up on a wall. Who is it? His son, daughter, wife, mother-in-law? No. But look for pictures, okay? Because you're looking for that standard, that what you're looking for is, you're looking for something that you can talk about, okay? If he's not into youth sports, is he into music? How about art? Maybe it has a string violin hanging up or a picture of it. You have to be able to converse with him one-on-one and then have him talk about it. Now, I always bring everybody to youth sports because that's my stronghold, okay? When you, I haven't gotten to that yet, but when you speak with them about youth sports, I was a baseball coach, so I always hope that they're going to have their son, daughter, grandchild, whatever, in something in youth baseball, Little League or travel or something else like that, and I'll talk about. Let them talk about it. You can spend the first 20 minutes of your meeting with them telling you about their son, their daughter. You know why? They love to talk about their daughter. They love to talk about their son. She's the queen of softball. He's the king of baseball. Oh, he should have seen a play. Oh, he got hurt. Okay. Whatever. Okay? Have them talk. The more they talk, the more of the barrier comes down. Okay? And I'm saying this again. Okay? Respect. Now, is it from a different culture? Is it the same culture? I was in a meeting with some Japanese investors. And I was not an investor, okay? But I was with the party. And the person meeting the person from Japan, he sat there and he bowed and he put his hands out like this. And he accepted his business card like this. Now, I had no idea what he was doing, but I asked him afterwards. He said, that is the polite, professional way how you accept his business card from Japan. I said, that's very interesting. Let me file that away. Okay? So you'll learn something new every day, but I can't emphasize enough about your politeness and courtesy. It goes such a long way. Okay? Now, mantra. This is the mantra of any networking event, any personal meeting, anything. If they know you, if they like you, and trust you, they'll do business with you. Now, it just sounds like words. But if you take it apart, know you, everybody on creation knows you. Okay? Because you're nice people. Everybody knows you. Now, if they like you, okay, they may not like you so much. Okay? But they know you, like you. Now, here's the biggie. Trust you. When you're in a networking event, when you're meeting with somebody one-on-one, they have to trust you. And you have what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to have them earn that trust. Now, there are different levels of, but you need to at least get to the first level of trust before they'll do business with you. Okay, so they're not going to, listen, if it's between you and somebody else, what's going to happen? It's you. It's your personality. It's how you react to everything that you're doing. Okay, so with that in mind, this is really big. All right, so let's say you're in a networking event. By the way, everybody here, whether you're in the warehouse, whether you're back office, whether you're a salesperson, should figure out what type of networking event you go to. I'm not talking about a big 300-person conference. I'm talking about like a chamber of commerce or a get-together, a meetup, something where you can show everybody your experience, okay? But let's say you're speaking with somebody and you walk up to a table. Now, the first thing you do is what? Not talk. You don't say a word. You're like, what do you think I'm there for? I'm walking up. I'm going to tell everybody what I do. No. You're going to walk up and you're going to listen. You're going to listen for the conversation. And is this a conversation that I can be part of? It's really not. I'll wait for the next one. No, it's not. You haven't said a word, so you can very politely bow out and go to the next area. But okay, so let's say it is a conversation that you want to become involved in. And you're going to give them 2 sentences, whatever. They want to talk about metal roofing or different roofing or plastic roofs or paper roofs or whatever the case may be. Okay? You can get up there and you can tell them something because remember, you are the expert in the field. So you're going to tell them. And what are you going to do? You're going to stop and pause and wait for their reaction. Now, I'm going to go sideways a little bit. Everybody here that is involved with sales, raise your hand. Everybody should have their hand up. Everybody should have their hand up. Why am I saying that? You work for him. Is Todd a salesman? Yes, he is. He's probably the biggest salesperson you guys have. Everybody is a salesperson. I don't care whether you work in finance, whether you're a vice president, or what have you. You're always talking about your business, and you are the expert in your field. You work in a warehouse, and you are online in a grocery store, and somebody's talking about something that is part of your company. You can either not pay attention and be forward, or give your 2 cents. Better be smart. Give your 2 cents and turn back around. If you do your job correctly, they're going to ask you a question. Now, in networking, ever hear of a 30-second elevator speech? Okay, yeah, everybody, okay? What do you think a 30-second elevator speech does? Okay, first of all, let me clarify that 30-second elevator speech. It should only be 5 seconds. What? 5 seconds? Yeah, think of yourself in an elevator, you have until the next floor. That's really where the elevator speech came from, okay? I help professionals network and communicate more effectively and efficiently. That's it. What am I trying to do to the person that I'm talking to? I want them to ask me a question. What do you mean? Can you explain that a little more? What do you do? Whatever it is, I want them to ask me a question, okay? Because that is going to start the conversation. Okay? Then I'll go into the second half of my elevator speech. Okay? Don't make it sound too canned because they'll pick up on it. Okay? But that 30-second elevator speech, 5-second speech is worth $1 million. Okay? So now let's say you're at that table, 4 or 5 people, and 2 people are actually interested in what you had to say. You're going to talk to those 2 people. You're going to start your form because you're not sure where you are with them, okay? And you're going to have them talk. Have them talk about themselves, their business, their whatever, okay? So that's really the important part, is having them talk, because they love to talk about themselves. They think if they talk enough, they're the ones in charge, when really it's not so much the case. Okay, but let's say, okay, they discussed everything with you, and if you did your job correctly, the next thing you're going to say is going to blow your minds because it's not what you do. It's not who you are. You're going to turn around to them and you're going to say, you know what? I like what you do. I like how you do it. How can I be the best referral source for you? They're going to blow their minds. What do you mean? I want to be, all right. I want to be your best referral source. How do I do that? Whenever you go to this event, any type of meeting or anything like that, always think with one thought. You want to give, you don't want to get. You want to give as much as you can. You want to get them referrals. You want to, everything you can do for somebody else. Okay? Remember, you're not building clients, you're building relationships. Clients come and go. Do you want that one-hit wonder? Do you want that person that says, oh yeah, I'll take that, my roof is done, okay? That's it, goodbye. Or do you want them, oh, you know what? My neighbor also has a roof that needs to be done. My son has a roof that needs to be done. You want them as an ongoing, you want this as a relationship, okay? Don't look at anybody or everybody like they're a one-hit wonder, okay? You're looking at them for a lifetime of clients, not clients' relationships. So when you're at the table and you say that you want to refer them, okay, if you've done your job correctly to this point, they're going to ask you for your business card. They're going to ask you about everything that you do. And there you have it. You have that connection. We'll go into what you do with those connections afterwards. But you have that connection. Okay? Now you left that table with this, oh my God, it's great. Oh my, this is wonderful. I got a relationship. I'm going to follow up and contact him and everything else. And all of a sudden you get back 2 or 3 days later and you have that business card and you go, who was that? I don't remember who that was. That's because right after that meeting, what you do with that business card is you turn it over, you write down the date, the name of the event, and something you talked about. Okay? After the 5th, 6th, 7th meeting or event you go to, you're going to have a stack of cards. Okay? I'm going to go through what you do with them, but even still, these are true connections. When you go to a networking event, how many cards did you give out? Everybody? Here, take my card. Here. This is me. My name is Michael. I'll contact you afterwards, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. I'm gone. I was actually at an event one time at a table. I keep referring to a table because in networking events, it's usually a series of tables, and then there are the booths afterwards, and you go to see them. But I had a guy come up and walk up. I think there were 5 of us. And he said, here, take my card, all 5. Listen, I'm Joe Schmo, and I do this. I want to talk to each and every one of you. Do you have your business cards? Okay, good. I'll talk to you afterwards. So long, say bye. Gone. Now, what do you think? What do you think we all did with that card? We had the card, but look at it. Garbage. Okay? When you go to a network event, an event of 300 people, how many cards do you think you're going to give out? 15. You're like, what? 15? There are so many people here. No. But you gave them out to 15 people you have the possibility of building a relationship with, and not just clients. Big difference. Big difference. Getting back to my listening and pausing. So let's say that he just finished telling you about what he did, what he does, okay? Now, you're there thinking of the next thing you want to ask him or you want to tell him. That's wrong, okay? You want to sit there and listen to what they have to say. You're going to pause and then respond. Now, why is that so important? If you pause before you respond, you're actually listening to what he was saying. You didn't just hear him, you listened to him. And that will have that barrier go down a little bit further. Okay? Everything is about this barrier, this invisible barrier. Okay? But you will respond to that person after you pause. I call it a pregnant pause. But that pause is so important, okay, because you're actually listening. Okay? So now, I was in the mortgage industry for about 10 or 12 years. And I had a sheet of paper. This was not before, I used Salesforce as a CRM, but this was when I was doing everything by paper. Now, what do you think I have? Who did I meet? How many meetings did I go to? How many people did I have lunch with? How many thank you notes did I deliver? I didn't get to the thank you notes yet. Pay attention. Okay, all of this was on an 8.5 by 14, and I had everything listed out, and I had points on the other side. I had to get to 100 points by the end of the week. I said to myself, now I was in mortgages, so realtors were my key number one place I was going. I had to have lunch at least every day with a realtor. I had to meet a realtor every day. Now, I was in a county, about 380,000 people. There were about 1,000 mortgage people. There were like 5,000, 6,000 realtors. How did you make a difference? How could I break out and make a difference? That's to come. Okay? I told you everything up until this point. Okay? How to meet that customer, how to greet that customer, have the respect, have the courtesy, look at him in the eye, shake his hand. Shake his hand. Okay? You're going to have all of these relationships. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do with this information that you have? Now, if you go after your current client list, that's gold. That's platinum, okay? But what are you going to do with these cards? Now, I have friends who say, I wait till the next morning and I email them. I email them first thing in the morning. I said, that's great, okay? Then what do? I give them 3 or 4 days, 5 days. They don't answer me, I email them again. Okay, that's great, okay? By that time, I will have stolen your customer and we were being very happy. Like, what do you mean? Because your follow-up is so much more important than meeting the person. Now, I'm going to start with the warehouse guys. Okay? Your follow-up. What's your follow-up? You're talking with a customer. Okay? You solved a problem for the customer. You forget about it? So, okay, look, I did my job for today. Okay. Or did you go the next day to whomever customer service you had to deal with and say, did you take care of that problem? You're showing that incentive, that extra step that most places don't do. Okay, you just put your hours in and go home. No, you're a salesperson. You're a salesperson. What about customer support? Let's say the warehouse person comes to the customer support and you're on the phone. What do? Oh, you pick up the phone, hey, how you doing? Isaiah Industries, oh, yes, I can help you. No. How about if you put a little mirror next to you in a cubicle? A mirror, that's right. And you smile. How you doing? Yeah. Oh, I know, that's great. You know why? Because when you look at yourself and you're smiling, they can see it on the other side of the phone. I'm not talking FaceTime, okay? I'm just talking when you are that happy, that into your job, and you are taking care of their issues. The other person on the phone, they can tell. How many times have you gone onto a tech support line or a customer service line, and you are like, oh, I'm doing this again. And you get on, yep, how you doing? Oh, yep, that's great. Oh, listen, we're here to help you 100%. That's good. We'll do anything you want. Yep, that's great. Okay, did I do your job? Yeah. Okay, will you wait online to give me a review? Sure. Click. There's so much more for support than even for sales, because you are the voice behind the company. You are. When somebody calls into this company, you're the voice. You're the person they hear. Okay, before they get to Todd or the VP of sales or anything like that, or just a salesperson, you're the person. Okay, so act like it. Okay. When I say follow up immediately, you have a sales call, a salesperson, sales whatever, even if you went to the event and you got 15 names, 15 business cards, okay? I said that I would beat you to my friend before you even woke up. That's because when I got home, first thing I did was send out a thank you email to those 15 people. Now, when I say a thank you email, hey Todd, I met you on this such date, such event. We talked about your son. He was in baseball. He got hurt. I'm sorry to hear that. Hope he gets better. Good to meet you, Mike. That was just quick, easy. Now, what didn't I say? What I did, why I did it, I'm just thanking them to meet them. Now, this goes such a long way, and I'll tell you afterwards. It's amazing. But the next morning, this is the key thing. This is what will separate you from everybody else. Thank you cards. Handwritten thank you cards. Nobody does this, except after I talk with them. A handwritten thank you card, put your business card in it, whatever. Hey, Todd, thanks for meeting me. I met you on such and such date, such place. We talked about your son, baseball. He got hurt. I'm sorry to hear that. Listen, I'm looking forward to having a cup of coffee with you. Mike. That went out the very next morning. The very next morning. And you wait about 3 days for that. In the meantime, what are you doing? Do you have a LinkedIn page? Facebook page? Instagram page? X? Okay? You should immediately find them on all those platforms. Immediately. And then what? You ask to like them. And they'll see you, say, oh, look, I just met him. I just saw him. Okay? You are now putting yourself in front of him again. And he's going to reciprocate. That thank you card, I want you to send the thank you card immediately. It's going to cost you a stamp. Okay? Send the card out. Wait the 3 days before you email them again. Introverts. Now, you can have the extroverts who are outside salespeople, like myself. We love to talk about everything, anything. It doesn't make a difference. We'll walk into a meeting room and see somebody and talk to them. Okay? It's not an issue. If you're an introvert, there's many different levels of being an introvert and ways that you can combat that. Now, I told you I was in the Air Force, so I'm going to use an Air Force term. A wingman. You know what a wingman is? Wingman, jets. You get into trouble, he's right there. Okay? I want you, now, whenever you go to a networking event, you go alone. You go alone because you don't want to share it with anybody. You don't want to walk up to a table with your buddy and say, okay, there's 5 people, and okay, those 2.5 are for me, those 2.5 are for you. Okay, you don't want to share. Okay, but if you're an introvert, go with somebody. Now, who is that somebody? Brother, sister, another salesperson, somebody that knows you and knows all about what you do. Okay? So, let's fast forward to a networking event, to a Chamber of Commerce meeting, something like that. Okay? You're going to walk up and you're going to listen. You're not going to, same rules apply. Okay? You're going to listen for that conversation. This is a conversation that we can get involved with. Now, I'm going to be the wingman, and Mike is not. Okay? I'm the wingman. So I'm listening for that conversation. It's a good conversation. I'm going to say, you know something? That's really good. Mike, you know all about this. Why don't you give us a little bit? That's your introduction. Now, all of a sudden, for the introverts, it's, now you can talk, because you can talk one-on-one, one-on-two. But that big room, oh my God, scares the heck out of you. Okay? And have them talk. And you collect a business card, build a rapport. You're going through the same exact routine. You go to the next table. Same thing. Listen for the conversation. Okay? Yep. Oh, my friend, Mike, you know about that. Why don't you listen about it? Just go on. And then, and so on. So for that networking event, you got through it. Okay? Now wait for the next networking event. Start small, I would say, to a Chamber of Commerce meeting or something else like that, or an after-hours meeting. Okay? The second time you go, now when I say the second time, the second event, now remember, these events are like 3 or 4 hours. So you have to have that person. You may have to pay that person a little something to go with you, but you have them with you. The second, third, fourth time, and the fourth time you're almost ready to solo. Now listen, this is very important to put the networking events, the meetings, anything that you can on your calendar, because this is a must-do. If you want to increase your profits. Now, I'm going to make a bold statement. If you do everything that I'm talking about, I will almost guarantee you that you will increase your sales, your profits by next month. 1 month. If you do everything. And everybody has my business card. If you have a sales meeting or something and it goes so well, I want you to email me and say, Mike, I did it and I got it. Okay? If I don't hear from anybody, I'll know that this was a total bust. Because I'm telling you, it will increase your business right away. Not waiting, right away. Okay. Now, your follow-up, okay? Oh, let me go back. We sent that thank you email that night. The next morning, we sent those thank you cards. I just increased the probability of you getting a response rate from about 40% to about 60 or 70%, just by that thank you card. Okay? But let's say they didn't answer you. They're on vacation, their son was sick, anything. Okay? In 3 or 4 days, you write them another email. And say, hey, Todd, this is Mike. Remember me? I saw you on such and such date, such and such time, event. We spoke about your son. Hope he feels better. Listen, I was looking at my calendar, and I see Tuesday and Wednesday of next week is open. I'd like to have some coffee with you. How about it? And send it off. Okay? Then you wait 2 days, 3 days. Say, hey, haven't heard from you. I saw you, remember me? I saw you on such and such date. They're going to get tired of seeing this, but you're embedding it in their minds. Okay? Look, Tuesday and Wednesday were free. Tuesday is really clear for me. How's coffee at 3 o'clock? So each time you're narrowing it down. And I would say your reception rate is about 90%. You have about a 90% chance, positive or negative, whatever. You're just looking for a response. Okay, positive or negative? Yes, oh, you know what? Tuesday is good for me. 3 o'clock isn't good. How's 2 o'clock? Yes, that's good. I'll meet you at so-and-so bagel place, donut place, doesn't make a difference. Okay? And you go in and you meet. Now, when you meet, what are you going to do? Hey, how you doing? Look them in the eye, shake their hand. I get that fish? No. Okay, shake their hand. You're going to ask them about whatever you talked about. Their son playing first base, got hurt. How's your son? Is he better? Good. I was just a little worried about him. Okay? And have him talk about himself. And eventually it'll come around to business. And that's when you start your business. Okay? But let's say you still didn't get a response. Odd. Usually everybody responds to me because I'm a fun guy. No? Deadpan? Everybody still sleeping? All right. I threw it out there. Give it a shot. Okay. They didn't respond to you. You're going to put them away into your drip campaign. Now, 5th and 12th contact, 80% of all sales. Okay? Every time you send an email, 1 time, 2 times, it takes, believe it or not, a minimum of 5 times before you contact that person, between 5 and 12 times. I have somebody that I just heard from. I contacted him a little over a year ago about doing a speaking engagement. Okay, a little over a year ago, I've been in contact. I've been emailing him, no response, by the way. Emailing him for over a year. He responded. Okay, so don't give up. Okay, now, you got all these cards. You got business cards. Your first event, 15 cards, that's not so bad, you can keep them. What about your second one? Now you have 30 cards. What about the next one? 45 cards. All of a sudden, you have a lot of cards. And you don't know how to keep in touch with them. You can take them one by one and send out an email. That's not the best way to do it. A CRM, okay? A CRM. I believe all the salespeople would have it. How about the support salespeople? Anybody who's using a CRM? 1, 2? You're using it? No? Yeah? 3? Okay. Which CRM are you using? Salesforce? Sugar? I use HubSpot. I use HubSpot, and it's very good. But, okay, what if you wait, like my friend, he waited till the next morning, then he didn't email him for a week, and then he didn't get a response, he waited another week, and what's going to happen? He's going to lose. He's going to lose because, listen, if I was on the receiving end and I didn't answer your first email, a week later, I barely remember you, second email, by the third email, I have no idea who you are. I have no idea, so you're going to lose. Okay. Spice it up, okay? Listen, I'm bringing back down to when I was in the mortgage industry. There were so many realtors, and we're talking about top realtors, like when they're making $2 million plus each. They're hot stuff. Now, they all are required to have 3 mortgage people. So how can I, because they don't know me from Adam, how can I make an impression on this realtor and at least have her respond to me? Very simple. I bought a shot glass, put it in a box. I said, hey, Margot, just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. And she thought it was so great that she responded, said, Mike, listen, I have my 3, but if one of them I can't get hold of or falters or anything like that, I'll put you right in. That's all I ask, okay? Because even if she gave me one deal every 3 or 4 months, that's from that one realtor. I have plenty other in the sea, okay? It's very important. And I say be strategic. because you have to make them remember who you are. Now, for those of you who are not using a CRM, there are free versions of CRMs. Free versions. You don't have to pay for anything, but it will keep you organized. And organization is the key to being successful. If you are not organized, then you might as well not even have gone in the first place. Okay? Because it is so important that you stay organized and start this drip campaign so that you're staying in front of your client. So now, if you're worried about time, it's so important. You say, okay, look, I have to do this, A, B, C, and D. Well, you know what? This A takes me so much time. It's so easy to do. Have somebody do it for you. Even if it's your son, your daughter, whatever, give them a couple of bucks, data entry, whatever. Have them do it. Because that will free up your time. Okay? Think about it. Think about what you can do with that extra hour or two a day, or hour or two, let's say about 3 hours a week. Okay? Listen, don't try to do everything yourself. This is what I call the wheel of success. The wheel of success. Where do you get all of your deals? Your database. Well, wait a second. I don't have a database. Do you have a CRM? No, I don't have a CRM. Get one. Okay? Everything points back. Okay? To being organized. How about your past clients? How often do you stay or are you in contact with your past clients? What type of a drip campaign do you have? Remember, I told you, your clients, your former clients, they're gold. They know how good you are, and they know how good your product is, so why wouldn't they want more? Why wouldn't they want it for their neighbor? Why wouldn't they want it for their son or daughter? Okay, let them decide for themselves. No, let them understand everything that you have to offer, and you re-engage them. But then you have new prospects, and that's what we were talking about. New prospects. Okay, new prospects are from those meetings, those engagements, those networking events. Okay, everybody here in this room is a salesperson. Everybody. Listen, do you want to look really good in front of Todd? Bring somebody in. Bring the prospective client in. Bring it to the salesperson. Okay? So it's not, you don't want to just go do your job and just call it quits. Okay? You want to keep top of mind to everyone, to everybody. And of course, the conversion from those non-clients to clients, that's a big thing. Okay? And really, that's what we're all about. Now, with everything I've said, okay, things to remember. It's not a business card exchange. You don't go there with your business cards, hand out your business cards, and expect to take everybody's business cards and call it a day. You actually have to work at it. If you work at it, it'll work. And you're going to treat everybody as if they're your friends. Okay? You're going to talk to them like you've known them for 20 years. Okay? You want to build that relationship with the person. When somebody else is speaking, remember what I said? Listen and pause. Think how important that is. When you're speaking with anybody, when you're speaking with somebody at the grocery store, when you're speaking to the person behind the counter, when you're speaking at a meeting, a networking event, whatever, okay? Listen to what they have to say, okay? The whole thing is being appreciative of what they are saying. Now, if you were a maitre d' at a restaurant and you sit somebody at the table, okay? That's your job, you're sitting somebody at the table. Okay? I've owned 2 restaurants. I had all of my servers check out their credit card when they always paid with credit card. Okay? Michael Forman. Okay? When they went back to the table, they said, "Here, Mr. Forman, here's the bill." Like they knew him. How'd they find out? The name on a credit card. Now, could be somebody else's name and really throw you off, but that's a chance you have to take. Okay? These are little steps that will gain you so much. Okay, how can I be a good prospect for you? Okay, you're going to this event, you're going to this meeting, you're going to whatever, you're meeting with anybody. Say, you know what? I like what you do. I like how you do it. How can I be a good referral source for you? Now, of course, they're going to tell you because they want more business. You always look to give, not to get. Very important. Stay organized. I can't say this enough. I cannot stress this enough. Stay organized, because organization, without organization, it's failure. Okay, you'll fail. When you're speaking with somebody at an event and you really know they're not interested, let them off the hook. Okay, just let them go, because listen, your time is very valuable. So let them off and go to somebody who would be interested in what you have to talk about. Okay? The soft connections. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. LinkedIn is your business platform. Okay? So if salespeople, if you're not on LinkedIn, shame on you, get on it. Okay? Facebook, that's kind of family, but use it for business. And Instagram is like whatever. Okay? Listen, I'm on all 3. I post every day. It takes me 5 minutes, okay? But I create an ad. I own a graphic design studio, so I kind of have what to do. And I make a post about leadership, about networking, about communication, whatever. I was written up in several magazines. Sometimes I'll put a paragraph from there. Whatever, doesn't make a difference. I'm doing that to keep my name in front of theirs being the world, whenever possible. Okay, so this is what you have to do. And of course, let's not forget about the thank you cards. Okay, it makes such a difference. And it'll surprise you, it'll surprise them. When you write that thank you card, it will shock the heck out of them. Okay, they'll be so thankful. And of course, if they're 20-something, they may not. Okay, but 40-something, 50-something, yes, they will. Okay. Be generous about sharing everything. Okay, when you go to an event, I don't know how many of you actually go to networking events. Those of you that should, okay? And keep a few things in mind, okay? Don't come late and leave early. Bad, okay? Arrive early, because you get to see everything. You get to see the people you want to meet up with and people you don't. Tables you want to go to, tables you don't. They usually give you some sort of a sheet where all the different booths are. Look at that, see what you want to do, okay? Or if you're just going just to go, just to see what it's all about, just go. But you have to remember, okay? I want you to go early, and I want you to be one of the last people to leave, okay? Because I know you're getting the full effect of the networking event. Always keep networking in mind. And this is important, okay? Become the expert in your field. You are the expert. You're around this all day long. So when somebody has a question, you can answer it without saying who you are, what you are, and a business card, whatever, not being salesy. Okay? You're helping them because you're answering their question. Just be ready, be aware. And listen, if you're in line with somebody and somebody needs help with something, help them, be kind. Think about if it was you. Okay, about 25 years ago, my son, in his infinite wisdom when he was 2 years old, decided to go for a swim without telling anybody. Okay, he went after a ball. And all of a sudden, all I saw him was up, over, and went in to the pool. And all of a sudden, my wife says, the baby. Dun, 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 here I go, I'm Superman. Okay, I was flying. And then I saw from in the pool, my brother came out and got him. But I was going a little bit too fast. And I slipped on the corner of the pool, in-ground pool, and shattered my ankle. Ouch. Okay, that's what you really have to be aware of your situation. You really can't take anything for granted. You have to just be yourself, but be kind, okay? That's my only point. Can you explain? If you need help with something or somebody else needs help, can you articulate? Can you actually tell them what you're looking for in no uncertain terms? Okay? Why, I tell this to my wife all the time. I said, why say something in a paragraph when you can say it in 2 sentences? She loves to ask in a paragraph. I ask 2 sentences. Okay? It's very important. But articulate what it is that you need help with. Give before you ask. Be proactive. Okay? What does that mean? It means that you can be the person to help the person. Be the person to offer the assistance. Be the person to offer that bit of information that will help them along. Okay? Be the person, be the man or the woman, sorry, not the wallflower. Okay? Let's say you're going to a networking meeting, a Chamber of Commerce, after hours. Okay? Now, this is a Chamber of Commerce that you belong to, or should belong to. It's very important. I always think the Chamber of Commerce is one of the most important things. And you're going to this after hours thing. And you know just about everybody, but you're going to be one of the people that go. And somebody new comes walking in, and they're standing up against a wall. That's what I call a wallflower, okay? Do you just let them go on their own? No. You're going to walk up to them. Say, hi, I'm Mike. I'm from Isaiah Industries. What do you do? Oh, I'm Jane. I do this. Oh, you know something? Those 2 people over there, they really get into that. So why don't you come over with me? I'll introduce you. And you introduce them and have them start a conversation. So now what have you done? The person that you helped, though, they feel 100,000%. Okay, they feel gold. Okay, now will they remember you? Yes, they remember you because you're the person that helped them. But you made them feel great. Okay, if enough of this goes around, everybody wins. Don't talk too much. Listen. If it's not a good talk, bow out. And remember, all of this is very important. You're building relationships, not clients. Clients come and go. Clients are one stop, one hit wonder. You don't want that. You want them to be your client for life. You want them to recommend their mother, father, their sister, brother, their son, daughter, their neighbors. Doesn't make a difference. You want to be the one that they're going to refer all the time. Okay? They have to know you, like you, trust you before they do business with you. Okay? Know you, like you, and trust you. Remember, everybody knows you. Everybody. Do they like you? Not so much. Okay? Trust is the key factor. Trust is the thing. John Maxwell is a speaker, and he does entire talks just on that trust factor. Okay? Because you have to be trusted in order, because look, am I going to refer you if I don't trust you? No. Okay? What you can do for them, and oh, that's right. Did I mention this before? Thank you notes, handwritten thank you notes. Yes, I think I've said it before. Okay? So really pay attention to thank you notes. I always keep them in my briefcase. I'll always send a thank you note. It becomes so important. And there's personal, it's happened to you. It's so important. And it's such a shock when you receive that thank you note. You're like, wow, they really care. Or, yeah, okay, so let's make networking a regular activity. When I say that, it means I would say, put it on your schedule. Okay, I'm going to go to a networking event twice a month on Tuesdays after hours. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to do my best to go. You're not going to go all the time, but you're going to go. The only way to start and get the word out, get who you are out there, is to go. Okay, the only way to do that is to meet people in different industries. Okay, you don't want to just meet people in a roofing industry. Yes, you can go to a seminar, to a summit, to everything else when everybody has the same focus. Okay, but you want to go out there because you don't know who you're going to network with. Okay, in the Chamber of Commerce, there may be an adjuster, an insurance adjuster, sitting right next to you. Okay, you can always get from there. Air conditioning and heating, plumbing. All these people go into the houses every day and notice leaks, roofing problems, whatever. Okay, these are all people that can recommend. Okay. Take every opportunity. Every opportunity is when you're online, in a gas station, in a grocery store, in a line for something else. Buy tickets for a concert, I don't care. Okay, you're talking with somebody, anybody. You're not just standing there and just not saying a word to anybody. Okay, you're talking. Talk. Maybe not the introverts, but the extroverts. Okay? Go alone. Don't forget your business cards. Listen, no matter where you go, stick a couple of business cards in your wallet. Okay, just in case you don't have your business card case. Okay, everywhere you go, okay, and you get into a conversation, say, look, maybe I can help you. Give me a call. Give me an email. Give me a text. And hand them a card. And so on. Okay? So if you did your job correctly, they'll ask you for yours. Okay? But you don't have to say, here's my business card. Do you have a business card? Because that seems forced. Okay. I just went through everything. Okay? In a nutshell. Okay? Be kind. Be kind. Okay? Be yourself. But be kind. Always look to give, not to get. If you look to give and not to get, it'll happen, it'll work in its way around where all of a sudden say, no, you know what? I know what you need. Oh, you need a roof. I know him. He was so nice to me. And he sent me a thank you card and everything. Here, let me give you his contact information. Or here, let me give you his name and his number and you call him or email him. Okay? Believe me, what goes around comes around. It's such a good thing. Finally, practice. I just gave you everything what to do in order to land your customer, keep your customer, follow up with your customer, and what to do with your customer afterwards. Okay? Now, you're not going to get this the first networking event or meeting or chamber event that you go to. You're going to mess up. All right, you messed up. You go to the second one. You're going to get a little better. By the third time, you've pretty much got this. The fourth time, you've locked it. Okay? But practice, and you're focusing on building relationships, not clients. I can't stress that enough. You're building relationships, not clients. And you keep in touch with them. How? How do you keep in touch with them? LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Become friendly with all three platforms because you don't know if they're using two of the three, one of the three, but they're going to be using one of the three. Okay? So your thing is to find them, keep in touch with them, and just let them know what's going on. Facebook is more like, yeah, they're my kids. But LinkedIn is business. I just had a great talk at Isaiah Industries. You should come see me. Whatever. That's what tomorrow I'm going to have a little post about that. Okay? A little something to keep you in the eyes and ears of your clients. Okay? Because you do that enough, they will remember you. Okay? Oh, did I tell you that? Handwritten thank you notes? Did I stress that enough? Okay? Believe me when I tell you, it works. It works better than anything that I've told you yet today. Thank you cards. Send out the thank you card. Oh, who's that guy? Okay, questions? Oh, I really had you riveted, huh? Oh. No questions? What?
I think one of the things you said that resonates, I think, a lot beyond networking with outside audiences is the concept of giving more than you get. Can you talk about that in terms of interpersonal communication amongst team members? You're not necessarily trying to sell them something, but you're still trying to be a good communicator and work within your team.
Remember, always think before you talk, of course. You're looking to give more than get. Remember, people love to buy. They love to buy. They love to spend money. They hate to be sold to. Okay, so it's very important that you remember that. So if your team member, same company, if your team member is looking to need a little bit of help with something, then you help them. You give them the information or help them access the information. Don't look for anything except for a thank you. You're not doing this to get money. Oh, I helped you with that person, so I get a referral fee, right? Because I helped you. Bad, okay? You're doing this because when you need the help and somebody else is going to help you, they're doing the same thing. When you're going to a meeting, you're doing that. You're looking to give them, not receive. You're looking to give them the information for a referral. You're looking to give them guidance how to put a roof up or the type of roof. You're giving them guidance. You're giving them help. You're giving all of that. And all of that goes so far. It goes so far today because everybody's thinking that, oh, you want to sell me something, don't you? Oh, you want money for this? No. I'm going to give you this information. I'm going to give you all of this. I'm going to give you an example. That's what I wanted to do. Who has business cards on them? Anybody? No business cards? One? Oh, he's the only person with a business card on him? Okay. Then you win.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That is the book that I've written, Networking Unleashed. Okay? If you go to my website, it tells all the podcasts I've been on and everything else like that. But also, next to my book, there's something, I have an abridged version of the book. I give that away. And so many people have said to me, well, if you're selling the book right next to it, how can you give it away? I said, because that's what I want to do. I want to help people network and communicate. Okay? And so everything is written right there. Download it, free. It's a PDF. It's all yours. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're doing. You have to give a little to get a little. Anybody else?
I would, if there aren't any other direct questions, I would like to do a little summary if you don't mind.
Okay.
I got a couple questions.
Okay, you go ahead first then.
Talk a little bit more about introverts versus extroverts, how you define that, how someone knows which one they are, because it does impact how you need to handle yourself and carry yourself when you're putting yourself out there.
Okay, introverts, okay, extroverts, you know who you are, okay? You're the guy who walks into a room, has no problem taking a conversation up with anybody, okay? You should be in sales, okay? That's what you should do. Extroverts, no problem, okay? If you're introverted, okay, you're an inside salesperson because you can do that. You can talk with people one-on-one or even two-on-one, doesn't make a difference. But in an environment where you know that you really can't walk into a room, let's say with 10 or 15 people and feel comfortable. Feeling comfortable is key, okay? Confident, comfort, extrovert. We're here, we're proud. We're the Marines, oh no, I'm sorry. If you don't have that, you're an introvert. Nothing bad, you can't really talk to those people. So now I explained to you how to interact with the networking environment. Use a wingman, okay? But if you're an introvert, and let's say you're not going to a networking event, okay? You're not even going to a chamber of commerce, okay? Because that itself is too much, okay? But if you're into a room with 5 people, okay, you can still have that certain somebody you can fly with, be your wingman. Okay? If you want to try to do this on your own, it's a lot more difficult, but if you're speaking with somebody and somebody else comes up, then you're conversing with 2. Somebody else comes up, you're conversing with 3. And before you know it, maybe there are even more, and that's when it doesn't happen, when you don't know it's happening. But for you to make that first step to walk up, you're going to walk up to somebody and say, hi, how you doing? I'm Jane. No way. It's not going to happen, especially since my name is Michael. But it's not going to happen. Okay? So if you're introverted, you have to make it a point to at least try to build it out. There are, I forgot the name of the podcast, 2 guys. One guy is a super introvert. Like super. He can't talk more than one person. And he got into podcasting because they got really into talking more and more about different businesses. And that he became more relaxed. Okay, so everybody has a different way of doing things, but you have to want to. You have to want to do it. You have to, if you don't want to do it, then nobody can push you into it. Yes? No?
Yeah, that's good. I apologize, my voice really sucks right now. But anyway, one of the things that you touch on, this idea of giving more than you receive, a quote that a lot of us have seen around here before is a Brennan Manning quote. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but it's every exchange is either neutral or is either positive or negative. There is no such thing as a neutral exchange. You're either giving life or you're sucking life out of somebody. And so I think that's really important in all that we do. And it comes down to our family relationships. It comes down to our personal relationships at work, at church, at various things. This idea of giving more than we're receiving, and you're going to get in return. So what was Zig Ziglar's quote? If I give everyone everything that they were asked for, I'm going to get it in exchange. Or that's paraphrased.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's true. I said be kind, be yourself. But
what does be kind mean? Go into that a little bit,
okay,
Michael.
to be a kind person, okay, are you saying anything negative to anybody else, first off? Okay? Are you being negative to an animal? Being abusive with your speaking? You walk into a networking event, are you talking over somebody else? Are you talking to another group of people and somebody's talking and you talk over them to stop them? Okay, so stop that immediately. think about the other person and how they feel. This person just came in, speaking over me, and now I can't talk. Okay? Whenever you are in that type of a situation, stop for a moment and put yourself into their shoes. Unless you don't have the mindset to do that. And so the only thing I can say to that is to get there. Okay? When I say be kind, I'm just saying it in general. Politeness, courtesy, it all works together. It's all the same. Different words, but it's all the same. All right? So that's what you have to do. You have to really, and it really comes down to thinking before you're speaking. Don't just blurt it out. Just don't blurt out anything. Okay? You're taking it in mind to who is that person that I just talked over? And take it from there.
I'm done now, Kelly.
Anyone else have any questions? Stefan?
You want to sell yourself first, or sell a product first, then
Say that one more time.
your networking? You want to sell yourself first, then the product, or you want to speak more on the product than yourself?
Very good question. Very good question. When you're networking, you're going up and you're listening to that conversation. And you're having the other person tell you everything about them. So then you're going to tell them about your product. Because what's going to be the difference? Let's say if you walk up to a networking event and somebody else walks up and you're selling the same thing. And you know what? Your pricing is exactly the same. Who are they going to go with? Because of you. You are who you are. By you just describing what your product is in your own way, okay, then that will have them pay closer to attention to what you're selling, and then it goes into who you are. Who you are is really not on paper, okay? It's how you carry yourself, how you bring yourself, how you speak, how you eye contact, how you shake their hand. All of this is part of who you are. You're confident, okay? So if you did everything as from what I said, from the eye contact to the shaking of the hand to everything else, they know who you are. And they will, believe me, 99 of 100 people will care. Good question.
Yeah, I think, Michael, one of the things that we talk about on our sales team is really, as you said, getting to know the customer and peeling away the onion to see what their real issues are and to bring that and to help solve their problems. Because if we have competing products, similar pricing, it just becomes a commodity. So how do we get to a point where we're helping to really understand what's going to be your ideal solution?
You said it yourself. There's a problem. You're going there because there's a problem. Whatever the roof is, whatever, there's a problem. And you're going there with a solution to their problem. Okay? So you never want to go to anybody, say, oh yeah, you've got a problem. And you're like,
Finding out what that problem is.
you have to find out what the problem is, okay? If you find out what the problem is, and you already have a solution, how do you present that solution? That's the key. That's the golden rule right there. Don't say, well, yeah, you've got a leak. Okay, yeah, I've got a roof. I've got a metal roof. You're not doing anything. You're going to first see what their problem is, then describe your solution, and then tell them about your solution. Okay, so then you're telling them all about the positives of getting the roof done, the way it's done, how it's done, what it's made from, and everything else. Okay, so you're building up your problem solving all into one thing, and then you're giving it to them.
Yeah, which builds your credibility.
Absolutely. And credibility, especially in this business, is everything. Okay, because listen, they can get a metal roof from Japan or China, wherever it is coming from, get those piece of crap metal roofs that break in half and say, look, no, it's not that. It's this, and this is the reason. Okay, so by you building up your product, you're giving them the opportunity to say, look, this is what you need. I've solved this problem. Okay, now it may cost you this or this, as opposed to this. You have to go in there actually with the other people's pricing. Say, look, ours is $100. Theirs is $80. But for that $20, you're getting this and this, which you will not get for this. So you have to go there with a solution before they even think. You have to think of their questions and their problems before they do. If you attack their problems and tell them all before they even ask you, that it's a home run.
What are some key things you would mention in your thank you cards?
Okay, so my thank you card is just that. It's a thank you for meeting them. Okay? Hey Todd, this is Mike. I met you on such and such date, at such and such function. We talked about your son. Hope he feels better. Mike. That's it. It's so easy. Why people don't do it, I have no idea. But it's such a big impact. Such a big impact. So you're just thanking them for meeting them. That's it. The email that you're going to send, a little bit more. A little bit more.
Said something with the 20-year-old, maybe not as much appreciative. Are you finding in any of your expertise field or whatever, what they are looking for the 20s or even the 30-year-old?
An easy way out. That's what it is. The 20-somethings are looking to have everything done for them, everything done through their cell phone, and they want to just get it done and move on, okay? Not necessarily to the next client, but maybe go on vacation, okay? They don't have, and excuse me if you're a 20-something and I'm talking about you, but you don't have the same work ethic as somebody in their 40s or 50s, okay? Once they get the work ethic down, now look, this was supposed to start at 8:30 to whenever. What time did I get here? Nobody knows, because I was here first. Okay? That's me. If I'm on time, I'm late. If I'm late, I'm on time. Wait, backwards. Okay? If I'm early, I'm on time. If I'm on time, I'm late. That's the way my whole life is, and it's gotten me so far ahead just by that. Being the first person in, last one out, that got me ahead. Okay? Showing when I worked for somebody, showing them that I was able to not only do the job, but do somebody else's job. Do a job that isn't my job, but I'm willing to do it because you're paying me. I'll sweep the floors. I was a director in a law firm, and I was sweeping the corners and the floor. They said, what are you doing that for? It was dirty. Had to be done. That's why. That's why. I looked at him, but that's why. Anything else? Any questions? No? You had something on what?
Yeah, I just want to, if you don't mind, Michael, great job. Certainly appreciate everything you brought to us. I think that one thing I just wanted to tie it all together, because it felt a lot of sales presentation, networking in that way, versus we have a lot of operations here in back office. And so I just want to make sure that we got the great points that Michael made on that. And really, the network is our company. Our network here is the reason we're here today. Be kind, I think, is absolutely at the top of it in all our interactions with everyone within the company. Be the person who helps was probably one of my biggest takeaways from it. So often it feels, with a coworker, it feels like you feel like, oh, I can just pass this on to somebody else or something. But be the person to take that extra step, I think, is really critical. Build relationships and not connections. Sometimes I think we get so focused on this person does that or that person does that, we forget to look at the whole picture and what all of our goals are, follow up to make sure that things are taken care of. We don't want to leave a customer hanging. If we're dealing with a lot of bad stuff right now with our vendors, with our coil. I'm trying my best to get us all information, but there's only so much I can get. I do think that maybe we'll send this recording to some of our vendors so they can understand this, that follow-up is critical. Use positive language, which is, I don't really see negative emails per se, but I think it's to put that positive spin on any reaction that we have within the company. Unfortunately, because we're spread over different locations, we don't get that face-to-face, which is really important. Looking people in the eyes, getting the body feedback. Emails just do not cover that. So it is important to use those positive reinforcements in there. And listen was another key takeaway that I felt is important for all of us. Sometimes someone may ask a question in an email that you're not fully understanding. It's important to try to understand it and let them know if you're not. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call somebody to get a clarification on it, because actually hearing and listening is so critical to the whole organization. So I think, that we're all like in a network here together. We're not exchanging business cards with each other. I'm a little bit concerned that only 3 of our salespeople are using sugar. I think that people just never raise their hand on that. I found out next month, Chad and I are going to go to a conference on intuitive, and I'm going to be his wingman, so I'll push Chad into all the different conversations, and I'll sneak away. So those were just real good points. It was a great talk, Michael. Appreciate it. I just wanted to tie it in just a little bit to our operations and accounting and purchasing back office.
Absolutely. And what you said about positivity, about the speaking positivity, you have positivity of negativity. And mostly everybody heard of negativity. You can never put your finger on positivity. But listen, using that mirror when you're on the phone, it speaks volumes about what comes across that telephone, cell phone, telephone, whatever. It's just when you always have to be up. And it takes a lot of energy to always be up. It takes a lot of energy when you're speaking with a customer to always be up. But the whole thing is that if you are up, if you are that excited about helping them, that goes such a long way that your client, your customer, your whatever will not be afraid to call customer service, client relations, whatever the case may be. They'll say, oh, I'll just call because they'll help me right away. And that's the type of reputation that you want. You want your clients, your customers, your relationships to call. Because, look, I just met so-and-so down at the warehouse. He was great. That's the kind of calls that you want. And hopefully you're tracking that. Because if you do that enough, you're standing out. You're the warehouseman of the month or something else like that, or go have Chick-fil-A on me, or whatever the case may be. Okay? It's being recognized, but you want to be recognized in the industry as the helpful company. That's it.
Yeah, and I'll follow up one thing on that real quick. Kelly alluded, of course, we know we've had a lot of problems with our suppliers, and it's been something we have noticed ever since COVID, Michael, is just the level of customer service from suppliers has really diminished. And it's not so much, it is customer service, because I think of that as far as doing things and getting you what you need, but it's also communication. And one of the things that occurs to me as I've been thinking a lot the last few weeks about our difficulties with some of our suppliers is that chances are the fact they're not communicating with us is because they're not communicating well internally as a team. And so that onus is on us. If we're going to communicate well with our customers, we got to be communicating well as a team also. And I think that's just an important thing. And so thank you again, Michael. This has been good. All of us may not think of ourselves as being in networking positions, But the fact is, we all do support one another in one way, and there's all kinds of different stakeholders out there with any sort of organization. Certainly some great advice here just in terms of how you communicate, how you build those relationships, how you care for one another, how you have that positive impact on one another and show kindness and all that stuff. So.
It's really, when I talk about, I keep referring back to the warehouse people and support people. You may not be making the sale, okay, but you are in support of that sale. So by you guys being that good, you're making the salesperson look like kings, okay? So you have to be that good in your support, in customer support, in warehouse and everything else. You have to do that in order for the salesperson to do their job and go out and make more, so you can support them again. The most important thing is you're there to support. You're there to be the face, the voice of customer service. Somebody walks into the lobby, I don't know how many people off the street you get, but you have to be that up. I walked into a real estate office, and realtor behind the desk was all happy. Oh, how you doing? Oh, yeah, all right. I'm here to see someone about buying a house. No, I'm just about marketing. Oh, okay, so there. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm just but that's the difference. It wouldn't take a whole lot more for her just to be as up, bring me into the office. It really wouldn't have, but it didn't put anything in her pocket. So she didn't. And so that's where you have to really think. Because when I first started this, when I said to you, who's a salesperson? Everybody should raise their hand. Because everybody is a salesperson. I don't care who you are. You're here, you're the face of Isaiah. And by being the face, you have to be that supportive, that client relationship has to always be there. Yeah? No?
Good stuff.
I think that's it.
Any other questions? Thank you all. Thank you, Michael, very much. Appreciate it.
Good.